Hey, soon to be new Vols. My name is Maddie Stevens and I work in UT's Office of Communications and Marketing. Welcome to our Facebook Live event. We are so excited to have you all with us today. We know this spring has been more difficult than expected for you all, and especially for our incoming new Vols. But we are here for you and excited to answer your questions about next steps for coming to Rocky Top and being a Vol. We've gathered a few experts today to talk to you and answer some questions. So I'll introduce those folks now. We've got Lauren Walensky from Admissions, Spencer Morris with One Stop, Richard Swearingen with University Housing, and we've got Adam White and Stella Bridgman with New Student Orientation. Awesome. So to start us off today, we're just going to open up with asking, what exactly is UT doing to help admitted students complete their next steps? We'll start with maybe admissions and One Stop with that question of what exactly are some things that are going on to help our soon-to-be new Vols coming to UT?
I'll go ahead and take the reins on that question. So recently we have made the decision to extend our confirmation deadline to June 1st. So that means that our wonderful admitted students now have a little bit longer to kind of figure out what they want to do in the middle of this chaotic time. And you now have until June 1st to confirm your enrollment and pay your $250 enrollment deposit. You want to make sure that you do that because there are a couple more important steps that follow after you've confirmed your enrollment. And I will let orientation and housing take the reins on that.
I think one more thing that I would add for things that we're doing as well, we definitely want to encourage students to apply if you haven't already. Generally, we would have deadlines just like any college would to apply, and usually those are, for this upcoming year, it would have been back in December. Those that affect applying to UT and how you're reviewed for institutional scholarships as well. With everything going on, we've basically gotten rid of that deadline. And so late applicants are definitely encouraged, and you'll be reviewed for all scholarships as well, all institutional scholarships.
Awesome. So what about orientation? What does that look like coming up?
Good question, Maddie. Yeah, so we've been asked to completely kind of reimagine what orientation is going to look like at UT for our incoming fall students. And we are excited to roll out a brand new enhanced 3-phased approach for orientation that we are referring to as the new Vol experience. And so I'm happy to break down what those phases look like for everybody. The first phase, first and foremost, is virtual advising. And so when you go onto the orientation website, you'll register for the new Vol experience, and you're going to select a date. And what that date is, it's your virtual advising experience. And it's an opportunity where you'll connect virtually with your academic college and have an opportunity to hop in some sessions from them and meet with your advisor one-on-one. In addition, we will have student leaders helping our incoming students with the registration process, knowing that that can be confusing and overwhelming at times. And so we're going to have as many folks around to support you during the advising and registration piece. So that's phase one. And those are going to take place the entire summer. The entire summer we'll be rolling those out. And so if you go in again to the registration page, you'll be able to see what dates we have available. Phase two is what we're calling online pre-orientation. We're really, really excited to provide this for our students starting this year. And it's going to be an outstanding virtual platform where students are going to have the chance to receive so much information surrounding opportunities and resources that are going to be available to them once they're on campus, in addition to meeting some of our student leaders via video and interacting with the platform in a variety of ways. And so that's not going to be rolled out though until much later in the summer, but we encourage students to be checking their UT email account. We'll be sending that out at some point, more than likely in July. So that's phase 2. So those are our virtual components. We've been getting a lot of questions about, hey, I've heard orientation is online, just wanted to know more about that. To an extent, you're right. Those are our online pieces. However, I can assure you that not all of orientation, not all of the New Vol experience is actually going to be online, because phase 3, let me tell you, is going to be on campus, and we're calling it Live the Experience at Welcome Week 2020. And this is going to be a week-long kind of string of events and opportunities for students to engage with each other, with other student leaders, upper class students, and to participate in a wide range of events, and learn more about what it means to be a Vol, and how to get successfully acclimated, especially during their first few weeks on campus. So that's the New Vol experience. Again, there are online components, but I can assure you there is going to be a very robust on-campus experience as well.
Awesome. Thanks for that recap. That's really exciting that you all have so much planned still for orientation and making sure everybody gets started off on the right foot. I know advising is huge coming into college for your first semester, so I'm glad that those things are still available.
We're excited too. It's going to be fantastic.
Yes, awesome. So for, let's say, a student, after they've confirmed enrollment, can they complete their housing contract? So does this new deadline impact the housing contract in any way? I think that's one more so for Richard.
Students can continue to complete housing contracts. We encourage you to do that as early as possible. All of the room selection priority windows or time slots will be based on first application completed and then moving forward from that date. So the sooner you complete that housing contract, the better. Also, the sooner you complete it, the earlier you can go through the roommate matching process and find a roommate with whom you think you'll be compatible. But as the confirmation deadline is extended, so will our contracting process, and so will our room selection process. Those processes will both roll forward all the way through summer until.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. So for those who have confirmed their enrollment, when's your first deposit due? Also some questions too about deferred payment plans. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we mentioned kind of briefly a moment ago that, June 1st with the enrollment deposit is actually how you confirm your enrollment. So when you're thinking about the first thing that you would be paying there as a deposit, it is that $250 enrollment. And the deferred payment plan, did I hear you right? Did you mention that?
Yeah.
So yeah, the deferred payment plan, it may be a phrase that you've heard already. If not, that is the main payment plan that we have in any given semester. So if you didn't have any sort of plan, just to give you some context, for your payments, you would just pay 2 days before the semester begins. You would pay all of your direct costs that you have. With a deferred payment plan, it basically lets you spread that out a little bit. I really recommend it. It lets you pay just 50% of your direct cost on that first due date. So still the same due date for that first payment. And then later on that semester, 45 days later, actually, you pay 25%, and then you pay that last 25% 15 days after that. Now, I know that's really specific. Don't feel like you have to have that memorized. Whenever you set up the plan with us, if you choose to, we give you a detailed view of it, what it looks like to set it up, when your due dates are, and what that looks like. So again, I think it's a really good option. It's one we want as many people to know about as possible.
Awesome. We've got another question come in here about housing. How soon will students hear about their housing placements?
The housing placement itself, your student will know as soon as they select a room. In the next week, we will be mailing out postcards to all of your homes, reminding you of the date that the room selection process will begin. Right now, we have a target to begin room selection May 4th. That does not mean that every student will be eligible to select a room on May 4th. Your student in their housing portal, where they completed their original housing contract, they will be able to find a time slot and a date that they're eligible to begin selecting. I'm emphasizing begin selecting because that's just when they can start the process. They can come in at any time after that and select a room or make a change to their room selection. But it works very much like booking a hotel room or choosing a seat on an airline. Your student will see the room number in the building that they want to pick, and they'll put that in their shopping cart and they'll select it. And then that's their room unless they decide to change it.
Awesome. And is that process similar for students looking at going into a LLC, a living learning community?
That's right. If your student has applied for a living learning community and has been approved for that living learning community, they will actually be coded in a way that the only rooms that the system will present to them are rooms within that living learning community. So if your student is in the honors living learning community, it's only going to present rooms in Dogwood Hall. If they're in a different living learning community that's limited to just one specific floor, those are the only rooms they're going to see. So they don't have to worry about picking a wrong room and being outside the community.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm also seeing some more questions coming in now about scholarships. So let's say a student applies for some of those institutional scholarships after the original deadline, since it's been extended. How soon may they hear back about that?
So our financial aid office is working hard right now to basically package financial aid as we get student information. So it's really important that you have everything completed so it can connect with us, and that all your info is correct as well. But really, as quickly as they can process it. I would give you a date, but it's happening right now, honestly. So there's not like a single date for when that is happening.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like a rolling process. If you
Exactly.
get your information in and they've got everything they need, then they start processing it right then and there.
Yeah, exactly. And like we were talking about before with the deadline that, we previously had, if you applied after a certain point, there wasn't a date at all, you wouldn't be looking at some of these institutional scholarships. And so that's why we're excited to, be taking a look at this again and offering those institutional scholarships to students that otherwise wouldn't have been given that opportunity.
Gotcha. Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's kind of shift gears a little bit too. So we've got some questions too about like, what is life really like on Rocky Top? I don't know, maybe Lauren, you can maybe give us a little sneak peek of what a student can expect, just coming on first year of college. What can they look forward to coming to UT?
Well, can I give this answer from an alumni perspective?
Yes, I would love to hear the alumni perspective.
Okay. Well, it's going to be the best 4 years of your life. Your first year is definitely going to be a shift, going from high school, being closer to home, closer to your family. It's going to be different, but it's going to be a really fun and adventurous type of difference. I would have to say my biggest tip would be to get involved. There are so many different opportunities to get involved on campus, and take advantage of some of the different opportunities that you have during Welcome Week. Those awesome. I'm super excited about the shift in orientation because I think Welcome Week happening kind of right before classes start is super exciting. It gives you an extra opportunity to meet some people, kind of get a feel of campus before you're overwhelmed by the stress of classes and seeing the big sea of people on pedestrian walkway your first day of classes. It's really nice to kind of see some familiar faces before that. But, we have over 500 clubs and organizations that you can get involved in, anywhere from being a partner with campus events on campus or joining an intramural sports club. There's just so many different options for you that I think there's always a way to make a big campus feel small. And the best way to do that is by getting involved. So your first day of being on campus, I definitely recommend kind of seeing what's out there, seeing what's the best fit for you, and making the most of your time on campus. But it's beautiful. Seeing the Rocky Mountains is gorgeous, or the Great Smoky Mountains, excuse me, total opposite side. And being right on the Tennessee River is also a huge benefit that you have to being a student on campus. And downtown Gay Street, super fun. A lot of festivals that come to town, a lot of other fun things that you can get involved in too.
Awesome. Thanks for that. We're also seeing a lot of questions on if students can come see campus. So right now, we still aren't able to come on campus. So we have to wait until health officials tell us that it's safe to do so. But are there any other ways that students can explore campus virtually or maybe online during this time?
Yeah, so if you go onto our campus visit page, visit.utk.edu, we have a lot of different options that you can take. You can take an e-tour of campus. We have some virtual Q&A sessions that have been posted on our website as well, with some of our helpful people in the visitor center answering some of the more general questions that you may have right now. So definitely take a chance and check that out. I also highly recommend going back and visiting our Instagram page. If you don't follow us yet, our Instagram handle is under UT_admissions. And especially on Tuesdays, we do something called #Tour Tuesday, where our awesome student ambassadors go to different parts on campus and spit out some fun facts and kind of show you the route around campus, show you some cool spots too. So definitely recommend checking out our Instagram story on Tuesdays as well.
Awesome. Yes. And I'll
Maddie,
piggyback on that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Who did I cut off?
I was just going to jump in there and mention housing our Vols at Home staff who typically give tours of campus. They are operating in a virtual environment right now. You can engage with them through Zoom. The link is on the housing webpage. If you go to housing tours, it will link you to a standing Zoom meeting, and you can go in and talk to an undergraduate student Vol at Home who can tell you about life on campus. They can answer any questions you may have about the residence halls, show you videos that we have, show you websites, help you navigate our processes. So that's also available right now.
Awesome. Cool. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't plug also the main UT Knoxville account. We're also sharing some good stuff on there. So you can keep up with what's currently going on campus and just get some sneak peeks of what's to come for your new journey as a new Vol. Shifting gears a little bit, Stella, maybe you could talk a little bit more about this one for us. What kind of academic resources are available to students coming to UT? Oh, did we lose her?
There we go.
Hey.
Thanks, Maddie. Yeah, we are expanding a lot of our resources. Right now, we are doing a lot virtually, and we're adding to that more and more each day. We have some fantastic academic coaches that have been spending a lot of time with students. We've been beefing up all things related to our tutoring and supplemental instruction activities for students. Those things will continue in the fall semester. Have wonderful advising also as an option for resources, but yeah, we're growing in number as well so that we can meet the demands of all the students that are going to be coming. So really excited about that.
Awesome. Very cool. So what would you say is probably the best thing students can do to start preparing to come to college?
Wow, that's a great question. I think one of the first things I would do is to really get online, check out the faculty, check out the colleges that you're in, see what's offered, see what resources they have available. The colleges have some great information on there, a little bit about your major and more about UT. So that would probably be the first thing that I would do.
Awesome. Cool. Yes, I would reiterate that for sure. And just, staying plugged in and up to date as best you can. I know there's a lot to keep up with right now with all the different updates coming across your phones and news and everything like that. So as much as you can, just stay in touch with us, reach out if you have questions, all that good stuff. Also had another question come in. This one's a little bit more specific about institutional scholarships. So what's the difference really between institutional scholarships and maybe something else? Is there a way to maybe succinctly define that?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry if I was kind of tossing around terminology. It's easy to get lost in the jargon there a bit. So when we think about financial aid in general, but more specifically that free money type aid, scholarships, grants, those things that you wouldn't have to repay. I usually look at it in a tiered system where it starts with institutional scholarships. So these are the scholarships that if you, generally I would say if you applied to UT before the deadline, now I'm just saying if you apply to UT, then we're going to automatically review your eligibility for those awards. So these are generally ones based on your standardized test scores, ACT, SAT, and your GPA. There are also some need-based ones as well. Those would require completion of the FAFSA. So that's going to be a big thing. If you haven't done the FAFSA already, please do it. But those are the institutional ones. They are not competitive. You meet the requirements for the award, you get the award. full stop. There you go. Then there are the competitive scholarships. Those would be scholarships that we did have a competitive scholarship application open previously, and it is still being reviewed as well. So if you completed that award or scholarship application and haven't heard anything just yet, it doesn't mean that you're not getting anything. Awards from that application are still being reviewed. Then from there, it would be external or private awards, which we see a lot of these. So you can go to really good resources online to look up. I mean, honestly, it may sound silly, but Google is a great place to start when it comes to external awards. But just be aware of places that you go and where you're getting your info. But I can't tell you how many awards we see from part-time jobs, community groups, groups that you're a part of. Those are scholarships too. And though they may be smaller sometimes, it's going to be every little bit that kind of helps get you there and helps you make your plan here. So.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So this one's more geared towards parents. So how can parents get involved with the orientation process? That might be a good one for Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, I would say making sure that your student has signed up for orientation and the New Vol experience would be step one. But we are going to be providing a family and guest orientation experience this year. It is going to actually coincide with a handful of our move-in days starting on August 10th. And so we will be running family programs simultaneously with move-in. The dates are on both University Housing's website and the orientation website. And so family members with their students during that day will have an opportunity to check out campus and explore some of our fantastic departments and resources that we have in more of just kind of an informal open house type setting. And then we are going to have a variety of fantastic interest sessions that we are collaborating with our campus partners on. And so learning things from more in depth on financial aid per Spencer or housing or parking even, right? All important topics that students and family members will want to know about. We're going to have an academic component as well, and then we'll be providing some other opportunities for family members to engage with as many campus partners as we can offer. So we're really excited about that. The family and guest program is free as well. And so we still do ask them to register along with their student. You'll see that option when your student goes in to register for the New Vol experience. And so we do ask that you plug your information in. There is no fee for that particular program though. Within the orientation process itself, we always encourage family members to be involved. And we found that if family members know information that is going to probably get relayed to their student better than most. So for the phase 2, the online pre-orientation piece, I'm kind of going backwards a little bit, but we are going to have opportunities for family members to also engage with that platform, again, in a very virtual environment, and they're going to get to experience in some ways what their student will go through for the pre-orientation piece as well.
Awesome, cool. And so also we have our Parents Association, right? So that's another way that parents can get involved and stay in touch with their student. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Lauren, you might be able to say how they can sign up.
Real quick, Maddie, yeah, there's an option on the registration for orientation for them to sign up and register for the Parent Association as well.
Perfect. Yep. That's
good point.
A great way to stay engaged. And there's a lot of good resources that are shared through that. So thank you. Awesome. Oh, I love this question. Okay. So someone asked, what would you say to someone who is still undecided about attending UT? And that can kind of be pitched out to anybody. It's a big one to digest.
I would say that you're looking at a group of people that are excited enough about UT that we have gotten into a video call around 6:00 p.m. to talk about how excited we are about UT and wear orange in our home offices and just get together. And like we were kind of chatting before we even went live, and in any of our little, like Zoom meetings that we do, there's still that excitement there. So I don't know. I think in a time that's just been so especially strange, to see people still excited about what we do, to see people still on Rocky Top, as it were, It's just, I don't know. I think it speaks to our mission and what we do and why this is a good place for people to be.
I think there's really something special to be said about the volunteer spirit. We've been working so hard with our current students and our prospective students and making those phone calls, reaching out to students, answering their questions, helping them and succeed in their courses and learn more about what's happening with orientation. There's so much going on, but I think all of it really does speak to the volunteer spirit and how much we love this campus and we love this institution. And we would definitely love to see you on our campus.
Definitely. I would say that volunteer spirit, that excitement that both Stella and Spencer are talking about, reach out through some of our virtual programs if you can to engage with some of our student leaders. If your student is interested in talking to other UT students, the Vols at Home tour program that I just talked about a minute ago is a way to talk to an actual enrolled student and hear the excitement from them about their actual experience in student life with us. I've worked on several college campuses. I have never worked on a campus where students are as engaged and have such a firm sense of belonging as they have at UT. They just live the volunteer life and love it on our campus. It's a really valuable experience. It is a large campus. The residence hall communities help make that very small. Your student will get to know their neighbors well and get to know the students that they are living with and studying with, and form friendships that will last them the rest of their life, really. So yeah, talk to some students, see how they're experiencing UT.
I would also say it's hard to meet a stranger on our campus, and that's it's a pretty big statement because it's a large campus. You have a lot of students, but there are so many different ways to meet people that if you're nervous about, say you're traveling far from home, or you're coming right from our backyard in Knoxville or right here in Tennessee, you're nervous because you may be coming and feel like you don't know many people, but there are so many opportunities out there for you to kind of form your own place on campus, form your own community and find your own niche. And I feel like that on top of just the support of everyone on campus being, just to reiterate that volunteer spirit again, it's alive on campus, whether you're in class, whether you're in your residence hall, whether you are in a community meeting or just walking around on pedestrian walkway or anywhere that you are on campus. Everyone kind of shares that excitement of being there and being a part of the Vol family. And that really is a true statement. It seems kind of cheesy and you don't really know what that means, but you'll feel it when you can come on campus for sure.
I guess I would finish with, if you're feeling nervous or unsure about things, know that you are definitely not alone there. And there are so many other incoming students that are feeling the same thing. And rest assured that our campus is well prepared to welcome you to Rocky Top in a variety of ways. And whether it's through the New Vol Experience or Welcome Week or some of the other fantastic programs that have been mentioned, know that we're going to give you the resources to feel comfortable on our campus, to meet as many people as possible, and to participate in whatever you're comfortable with and what kind of fits you. There's a little bit of everything for everyone on our campus. And so again, know you're not alone, and trust us that once you get to campus that we're going to take care of you.
Awesome. Thank you all for that. That's really, really something special. And I think too, I'll add in just like being a volunteer and being able to come and say I'm a Vol. That's something that I really held on to as an alum as well. Just being able to it means something. It means so much more here to be able to say that and to know that you're part of this huge Big Orange community. And it really does feel like that. So we're really excited to welcome you all into that. And we hope that you choose to come here and to share in that experience. But as we get to a little bit of a close here, I know there have been so many questions today. And if we didn't get to your question, please know that we are going to be going through all of these comments and responding to as many as we can. We also have some contact information for you. So I'm going to put that up here. Let's see. Let me get my fancy screen sharing so you all can see who to reach out to if you have questions after direct some of these too. So let's get that up. All right, so for admissions, you can reach out to admissions.utk.edu, and they've got their phone number up there as well. One Stop as well, onestop.utk.edu. Everything's on their website too, and you can reach out to someone specific to talk to any questions that you have. University Housing and Orientation also have contacts information up there listed for you. So again, we really encourage you all to just reach out. If you have questions, we want to help. So please, please, please keep asking, keep contacting us, and we want to get you the information that you need. So again, thanks for tuning in today. We really appreciate it. Do any of our guests have any final thoughts or questions that they want to hop in?
I feel very compelled to point out that I'm borrowing my 10-year-old daughter's room and I don't sleep in a loft bed with bougie string lights all over it. The quietest place in the house.
We're all making it work in this new normal that we've got going on. So I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you all again for joining us today. If you have further questions, we will get to you, I promise. Also, if you would like to stay up to date with updates with UT, as well as specific updates about the coronavirus, you can go to utk.edu/coronavirus for all the latest news and links on that, as well as campus updates that will roll out regularly. So as soon as we know and have more information, we will share that as widely and as broadly as we can. But again, thank you all so much, and go Vols!
Go Vols!